You want to? Obviously.
We're live.
We're hope. It's only me. It's Friday. Let her rip. Anything goes. Of course, every podcast day is the same thing. Anyway, how's it going? It's a quick surprise, last minute podcast endeavor. And because things kind of worked out. And again, our apologies for, we aren't obviously a full-time radio show, so we're doing the best we can with the best with all the things we have. So anyway, thank you for your patience or endurance. I bit my tongue again the other night. I thought I was done with that.
Stop doing that.
God, how is that possible that I'm biting my freaking tongue like every other day? Bad. I mean, bad. Where I'll get real confident. I'll be, I'm eating away, and I'm like, ow! Jeez. Anyway, sorry. So happy Friday, let it rip, and it's the 2nd of September, number 471 podcast. Anyway, I got to slow down talking because the more I talk, the more my tooth rubs in the thing. With Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, and sports raconteur extraordinaire, with his new eyeglasses. The new now these are not bifocals, right? You don't need bifocals. But this now, what made you decide on the totally see-through, clear, teeny metal lens frame set of glasses?
I had those dark, heavy things for 2 or 3 years, and I just got tired of it. These are very lightweight and very easy to move around with.
Now, I used to wear glasses my whole. I was blind as a kid. I've told you before. I could barely see the E on the eye chart. So I back then, of course, as a baby boomer, back then it was stylish to wear the tortoise shell and things like that. It was big back in the 60s, 50s, 60s, whatever. Anyway. Now, but I remember when I was going to get new glasses, it was kind of, I won't say exciting, but it was like, well, let's pick out a new style. There was kind of a thing, it's like getting new shoes. I'm going to get a new pair of shoes. Let's take you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. Well, I know girls have that thing, but I think guys probably have a thing for, if I haven't bought a new pair of shoes in, years, I guess. Because I'm a cowboy boots. Well, I haven't. I have. Oh my God! In fact, I'm trying to remember to take a picture. I've got dress shoes in my closet. I probably had for 20 years. I've worn maybe once. Probably several different.
I have a pair of cowboy boots I wore once.
Well, there you are. I see the thing. Anyway, now did you have a thing? Did you have a little fun with yourself on picking out a new style? Did you have somebody go with you? Did you have somebody at the place?
No. Basically, I hate it. I hate the whole experience. So I had to come here and do a podcast. I go, look, I got to go. I'll come back later. And she goes, oh, well, just look at a few of them. And within like 15 minutes, I went through 6. And I go, these'll do. And I took them.
You got them just now before you came here just now?
No, I got them last week. But basically, it took me like 10, 15 minutes to pick them out and adjust them and say, okay, that's it. I'm out of here.
And you didn't ask her, how do I look or anything like that?
No, I don't give a shit. I don't. They're just utilitarian. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I'm just again,
I hate the whole experience of having to wear glasses.
Now, but you must have always worn glasses, right?
Since 5th grade. Grade. So that was kind of traumatic of having to get glasses and then go in and thinking, well, hopefully no one sees me putting my glasses on and to look at because I couldn't see the chalkboard anymore is what the problem was.
My first day when I secretly pulled my glasses out of my little hard metal case and I put them on, I was in 2nd grade and the teacher said, oh, look. And I burst into tears. I was crying. I'll never forget how embarrassed and humiliated. And I don't know,
it's an ego thing. You don't want to look like you need glasses. I don't know what it is. Now it's no big deal. You put them on, who cares?
No, it was like braces. Same thing with braces.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I had the clear ones in front, so no one really could see.
I didn't. I had the metal ones, full-time metal ones. And it was, and I remember when I didn't know I was getting them on. And I went, I had an orthodontic appointment. I had some on the bottom for a while, but that was no big deal because you could almost never see them. And I had a routine appointment, so I go in. The guy sits down and says, oh, "Okay, here we go." And he starts putting these things on the upper teeth. And I go, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, it's time." Oh, it was horrible. But the reason I mentioned it is because when I had with my official stepson, the barman, when he got braces, he couldn't wait to pick out the color.
Yeah, it's different.
And they have different band colors, and and they all.
It's a grill.
Get the blue ones,
It's a grill now.
It's now a thing, or at least it was a few years ago. Anyway,
which is cool that they made it into something.
Yeah,
where you
good. Don't be embarrassed. Why
it.
should you be embarrassed? I was embarrassed. I remember I was so easily to tears. I was a crybaby. I really, really was very emotional. And most of it, a lot of it was because, you have a girl's name. I've got you on the girls list. And name all the girls in the school. Oh, I've got you, just my whole life since I can remember being alive everywhere. Anyway, So, things like that do have an effect. That's why I was curious about your eyeglasses. Anyway, you look fine, you look great, and
Well,
who cares, but you can see. And now, how about the headaches? The reason I asked you originally
They're gone.
was, so you think this was it? It was an eyeglass sinus combination?
It was a combination.
Yeah.
It was the worst sinus headache I'd ever had in my life. It lasted a week.
I just am now stopped all the nose blow. I mean, I've been suffering too the last few days. I don't know what's going on, but
It's starting to
nosebleeds
turn.
and
You know, we've gone from very hot now. It's going to be 83 today. It's
Yeah.
going to be nice. So.
Yeah. Anyway, well, and of course, Flounder. I didn't even say hello to Flounder. Mangler.
Right over there.
Here at the El Condo Floundo. So anyway, so this is a last-minute podcast. And in fact, I want to thank folks for sticking with us, our sponsors, including M&S Title Pawn. They are sponsoring this portion of the Last Minute Kipper Show podcast in beautiful Bremen, Georgia, 306 Laurel Street, Suite A. They're open Monday through Saturday. Love to see you in person on Laurel Street in Bremen, Georgia. And you can get to them on the phone. They love to answer the phone, too, if you want. If you need something or have something or whatever, either way that works. Area code 678-821-3337. And if you look them up on the web, when you spell the letters and the word M&S Title Pawn, it comes out manstitle.com. So the way to get them on the internet is MANDS Title.com, manstitle.com. M&S Title Pawn in Bremen. With our great thank you. And we're back. Anyways, okay. Any did you watch President Dorkface last night?
No.
No. Flounder, I assume you'd...
Nope.
No. Okay. And for the record, let's get this out of the way because my head's exploding. I had no intention of watching his speech because I knew what it was going to be. The remarks were clear. The Republicans are a danger to democracy. Yeah, and we are the enemy. So clearly I wasn't going to watch it. So I was watching when they switched over to Tucker, and in the background over Tucker's shoulder, they showed the entrance of the beginning of the thing. I did see that. So I said, well, I'll see what's going on here. And for the record, I'm a Marine. I'll always be a Marine. I'm not a war hero. I'm no expert on combat strategies. I have a little experience in this area, but I'm not your go-to guy for combat or heroism or anything else. Okay, for the record. But I served, and so I wear the Corps colors. All right. When I looked over his shoulder, and the doors kind of opened, and it got light behind Tucker as they're waiting for President Emptyhead to come forward, all of a sudden these two Marines show up. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying, and the first thing I thought was, oh man, look at those good-looking Marines. And I say, wait a minute. I don't remember a president giving what is a hate-filled speech in prime time on television using United States Marines to begin his entry as the hero of America is going, you know what my head started.
It was a threat.
My head started to explode. And then when they went to attention and then they did the salute, and then he came forward, and they went to the color guard type version of parade rest with their hands folded or crossed in front of them. The parade rest normally is behind you, but anyway, so it's a thing they do. And the light was shining off of one of the Marines' gloves, a big bright white shiny thing, and the Marines are standing there, and there's all of a sudden the big beautiful glowing blood red light comes on to show the like a bomb bursting in air with the Marines guarding the man who's leading us into freedom and liberty. I swear to God, I was so freaking angry. I got madder and madder and madder and madder. And I mean, I couldn't take it. I literally stopped watching when I had to switch off from Tucker. I mean, I was absolutely livid. Absolutely livid. For the, okay. And again, Marines, are there they will kill or die for the president and for America. Okay, that's their job. Nope, you knew the Marines weren't going to, spit on him behind his back, or, clearly they're going to do their duty because they're Marines. Oh, sorry. Maybe that's why I was worked up to it. Grinding myself. But to use the Marine Corps especially a year after. I tried to make this point on the radio this morning on 106.3. We do a Friday morning call-in. The last couple of days have been filled with, at least on conservative media, have been filled with remembrances of the 1-year anniversary of, and we talked about it the other day, of 1-year anniversary of pulling out of Afghanistan and the explosion that killed those Marines and the soldier, sailor, and so forth. Mostly Marines, almost a dozen Marines murdered by Joe Biden, as far as I'm concerned, because of their ridiculous withdrawal from Afghanistan, the treasonous withdrawal from Afghanistan. It's sedition all the way. Giving over to the enemy, and to use the Marines after what had happened in Afghanistan, almost to the day as the anniversary. And I was reading a story yesterday about. In fact, I don't know whether I said it on the podcast. If I'm repeating myself, stop me. About the one of the families of one of the Marines who was killed in the Joe Biden murderous suicide attack on the withdrawal day of Afghanistan. The family said the last memory of him that they were told by the people who were there was that their son saw 2 little girls. Did I tell that story? Okay. Anyway, so and again, all this is going into my head last night just by seeing the 2 Marines standing there at attention and then prayed rest as he comes walking in, and that my head was going crazy while all this was happening. Here's a guy who not only does not stand for patriotism or law and order, he's now using United States Marines, and I think that was a threat. Remember, just the other day he said, "Oh, you big phony heroes with your Second Amendment, you want to take on America? We have the F-15s." Yeah. I mean, oh my God. And the entrance is in a blood red burst of color, and 2 United States Marines in dress blues come walking in to guard our new Liberty hero coming. Oh, I swear to God! And to use the Marine Corps, and again, there's nothing you can do about it. But if I were an active duty Marine, I think my head would be coming off. I would definitely not be re-enlisting under him. And if you're thinking about joining the Marines, I'd wait.
Yeah.
You know that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, this silly General Silly Milley, is more concerned with pronouns and pedicures than he is with. I mean, he just did something else with some major units. So have to go through pronoun screening or some horse shit.
He's more concerned with promotion and popularity because the people that are in charge of him all want this bullshit wokeness.
That's right.
So he's kowtowing to them instead of what the country needs.
Instead of him and the head Marine who was in charge of the Afghan withdrawal saying, no, we can't do this. We're not going along with this. And not one of them stopped it. Not one of them. Now they're saying, well, we told him it was a bad advice. So, yeah. Then you jump up and say, no, Mr. Chief Executive, Mr. President, and if you're going to go forward with this, you're going to do it without me. And that's when you say, then you take one for the team. I mean, and turning the Marines into puppets. I mean, into props. Like little toy soldier puppets on strings. Yeah, background props. Yeah. Oh God! I honestly, God, I was so freaking angry. I mean, and I still am. And here's again. I'm just okay. I'm nothing. I'm in my 70s. My life is over. I've got no influence on anything. And well, no, I'm sure. I mean, I'm not in anybody's the demographics. 18 to 64. They don't go to 1876. So I mean, I know my place in society. This is we kind of put you out on the ice floe and hope you don't make too much noise as you go out with the last of the seals and polar bears. Bye, Grammy. I know. I mean, it's my turn. I mean, I know that. So again, there's but I don't want to go out like this. But I'm telling you, they're really asking for it. They are dividing America. He did this. They did. Yeah. Whoever's running him, whoever the Susan Rice or that what's her name? I just had her name. Samantha Powell or Power, whatever Power. I think. Or Putty-Tat, who's ever running making these things, saying, well, let's get a couple of Marines and some blood red lights. I mean, whoever's coming up with that stuff, because he doesn't know any better. He's not going to say, well, this would be offensive to Marine Corps, who's going to stop him? So, because he doesn't know any better. But again, I mean, if they want to, he was helping to use United States Marines to turn me into the enemy.
A threat. He's threatening. What the implied threat is, I have the U.S. military behind me, and we will kill you.
He said it the other day. We have the F-15s. Do you think you and your guns can take our F-15s?
Well, Swalwell, a few years ago, said they have nukes.
Yeah.
He actually talked about nuking Americans.
Yeah, right. And again, I'm in. Frankly, if you want to do this, and like they say, isn't it every 200 years a civilization has to explode to start over, kind
Every
of refresh
empire,
itself? Every empire,
200 years.
Yeah. Well, have you seen? Okay, if you were to take a track, and I guarantee you, 100 years from now or 50 years from now, they're going to be studying this. If the schools are still there, they're going to say, "Here's what happened to America when it started to go into the total bottom. Remember when all of a sudden they started taking money away from police departments and told little boys they could be little girls and cutting off their testing? I mean, and that's when it started." This wokeness is when it started, this heave to the left. It started under, the first black president, and he started dividing America with the Ferguson, Missouri thing, and the racist split, and we haven't come back since. Nope. And the great unifier, President Potato Head is the great unifier. Remember? And I love it when Fox had been playing the clips of him saying, "We need to unite our country together," and silence the mean tweet. I mean, oh my God, he's the most hateful president we've ever had, and he doesn't even know it. I don't think he has a clue. I think he thinks he's being a tough guy. I think they're telling him, "Joe, you get out there and start screaming at those bastards because they're out to ruin America. I'll show you, my people. You MAGA Trumpists, you are the..." And he has no idea they're using him to attack his own people. Yep. God,
he's an idiot.
And I am so, honestly, I'm so worked up about this. I'm ready to fight. If there's a revolution, I'm in. Honestly, if there, and I mentioned it this morning on the radio. What bothers me the most is I don't want to go out like this. If I see, if there are a crowd of people and they're holding signs saying, "We love Joe Biden. This is what the America we've always wanted," I hate them. I want nothing to do with them. I won't talk to them. I won't be part of them. I won't be I won't go hit them in the face, but I want nothing to do with them. America is now more divided. I've never seen and this is way different than Watergate in the 60s and the hippies. Yeah. The hippies, all of a sudden, dad and mom, come home and their son wants to grow his hair down to his collar. That's one thing. This is a whole different split. They talk about the generation gap. This is a culture gap. This is a huge living gap, and it's not getting any better. And I'm not changing. And I tell you, if you're you love what's going on with our country right now, you're my enemy. I'm not your enemy. You're my enemy. And I'll fight for what's left of it, and I got nothing to lose, baby. Really, I am so worked up about this, trying to make me the enemy and using Marines to do it. What? Floundy laughing at me?
No, he was doing the printer, which you can't hear.
What I do?
But it's funny that you saw the Marines, and being a Marine, I see why that happened. When I first saw the stills of him there, the first thing I saw was someone had done a meme putting the Hitler mustache on him.
Yeah, right.
And then I looked at that.
And you look at the setting.
The red setting behind him. I swear to God, the red lighting, the way it was this way and this way, it looked like the Nazi eagle.
Yeah.
It literally if Trump had done that, they would already have the Nazi eagle stuff behind him going, look, he's even just showing us he's a Nazi. That was pure Nazi and communist propaganda that he used. It was seriously, and the shot from down below, the German neo-expressionism, which how they used to show Hitler,
and
they had the camera down and show up.
And they did it at night.
And so he looks like he's lording down at us. If you see all the movies about 1984, Big Brother and everything, it's the same shot. He's looking down from the dais at you little people that.
Remember the TV commercial of the Super Bowl where they made
They're
fun
all
of it with
looking
the big
down
shot.
on that.
That's right.
And you got the big light behind him that looks like the Nazi eagle. This is an implied threat that we're coming for you if you vote the wrong way.
I'm ready.
Did you see what CNN did during that showing?
No.
They saw the background, and within 30 seconds, they made it more pink. Because they saw what it looked like. It didn't look good for Biden at all.
Oh, my God. I believe that. I mean, I just... How could the president turn his own people on each other? I mean, that was deliberate.
Because he's an idiot.
He said
empty
the MAGA
suit.
Trump. That's Republican. That's the guy who voted for Trump. I voted for Trump. I think Trump, as a person, is not the kind of guy I'd want to hang out with. He's not my kind of man. But he was a great president. What he wanted for America, unselfishly, what he wanted for America. Anyway, because I voted for him and I didn't vote for the guy who hid in his basement, who's so stupid that he doesn't know any of the issues and can't speak in public, and I didn't want to vote for him, so I'm the enemy now? I mean, that's all it took? I am so freaking mad about this.
And if you think they're not going to try and steal the election, do you see what happened in Alaska?
Yeah.
They set it up now. This is a rigged election.
Because they have one congressperson. They have one representative in Congress.
60% of the votes went to Republicans,
Yeah.
and the Democrat won.
Right.
And they did huge mail-in votes.
Yeah.
And
That's
the
right.
Democrat won.
Yep. Democrats
they hadn't
always
had
win.
a Democrat in that seat for 50 years.
Democrats always win the popular vote. Isn't that funny?
They
That's
stole
why we don't.
another election.
That's why we don't want a
And the
democracy.
Republicans up there in Alaska allowed this to happen, just like we have Republicans here who don't change the law about voting in primaries and,
Yeah.
and crossing over.
Yeah.
They're asking for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, there you are. Here we go. Honestly, I don't know what I'll do if they. My God, well, I can't wait to see whether Trump's going to run, and then I mean, I'll be holding my breath for 2 years because I don't know. I mean, who knows? I mean, my God.
I tell you right now, what if Trump runs? The very thing that almost happened in Argentina last night will happen here. They will
gun
try
jam,
and
yeah.
kill him.
Yeah.
It was a miracle that woman lived.
Yeah.
He was this close.
Yeah, the gun jammed.
And he kept doing it
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
That's a miracle.
hard to believe.
I'd vote for her. She's supposed to be something.
Yeah, well, I don't know anything about. I don't know anything.
She's the vice president. She's supposed to. It's like the Dead Zone with Christopher Walken. She's supposed to be
in
there.
Argentina.
Yeah, I have Argentinian neighbors. I want to talk to them
I'd
about
like to
it.
go
That's
there.
just
Would you like to go to Argentina?
not
no,
really.
Brazil, Argentina.
Just
Chile?
nowhere in South America appeals to me. Nowhere.
I think I'd just like to see, the boroughs in
Maybe
the
Rio,
countryside or something.
maybe
I don't
Rio,
know. Maybe,
but
I don't
that's
know.
about it.
Yeah, Rio would be
In and
fun,
out.
but I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, all right, we got a billion other things to talk about, including, especially this president. The other day, I mentioned a couple quick things. The other day, he is so stupid that he insulted black people again when he told the story about his son, and he said, I'm the only white guy in the most crime-ridden place, and I was the only white guy, most crime-ridden place in the whole country, and I'm the only white guy there, which means all you black criminals.
Criminals.
I mean, oh my God. And he just goes on and on and on. He's the same guy who said, well, Barack Hussein, he's a well-spoken, clean-cut, talks really good, clean-cut black guy. For a black guy. Anyway.
Didn't he say he was like the first one we'd had that ran for any office or something?
Yeah. One day we'll have a black president. And one day you'll get a new car. You might swap your whip with somebody else. Well, how do you do that? Well, go to swapmywhip.com. Golly, what a transition. Another Kimmer Show podcast sponsor. Swap My Whip, which is a colloquial phrase for a ride. Swapmywhip.com. And you're driving along and you see a car you've always wanted, go to swapmywhip.com. You might find somebody with that car who's looking to trade his car for something you might have, or a friend of his, and boom-ba-bam. You cut out the dealership, you cut out the used car salesman, you cut out the middleman, you go do your thing just by looking at swapmywhip.com. Now, it's not just cars, boats, jet ski, off-road vehicle type things. I mean, I suppose all kinds of stuff. Check it out. It's worth checking out. Swapmywhip.com. And if you use the coupon code KIMMER, Kimmer, you'll get 180 days of free premium listings. That's swapmywhip.com. Boom, bam, boom, bam. All right, a few more things on this business about turning the country. I mean, I just can't believe it. I can't believe it.
When I saw the photo of him there, I'm going, that's a corner turned. That symbolism.
I mean, I wonder who thought of it. I wonder who said, you know what, we need a couple of Marines out there and some bright red light like the bombs bursting in air to do the old Fort McHenry business or something. I mean, honestly, I wonder who came up with that.
All that was missing, it wasn't held in Nuremberg, and Lenny Riefenstahl wasn't filming it.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder who. Somebody is the puppet behind.
Susan Rice, Valerie Jarrett, the Samantha Powers. There was a photo. It showed these three women around Obama's desk when he was president.
Yeah.
All three
There they
women are in this administration.
Yeah. And again, he just appointed one of his defense information chiefs as the guy who signed the document saying the Hunter laptop is Russian and disinformation. And he made him his national intelligence assistant director.
It's a joke. It's all a
Jesus. I mean, what more evidence do you
We're at the end
need?
of the Roman Empire. It's Caligula, it's Nero, it's the craziness. We're in the crazy times.
He picked a Supreme Court justice based strictly on race and gender. Strictly, not on education, not on legal knowledge, not on experience of jurisprudence and what the Constitution stands for. Strictly on race and gender, and everybody else need not apply. How is that not racist and homophobic?
And a pedophile enabler, too.
Well, there's the other thing. In fact, I was going to mention this morning, I think my little feed cut off for a while, that he has a new Indian name. President Joe Potato has a new Indian name because he wanted to kind of embrace the equality of all the peoples of the people he's trying to turn against each other. President Joe Waniji Skungwanga Wanga, which stands for Father Who Takes Shower with Daughter. So that's. By the way, how come no one's asked him? When's the last time a grown man did that, sir? Turned your daughter into a sex maniac that she even admitted herself. I mean, he's a freaking pedophile. The man's a pedophile.
Probably, yeah.
He's the same guy who said, on his speech the other day, he said, if you're for law and order, then you've got to be against that murderous insurrection that killed all those police officers. Killed all those police officers. Yeah.
Speaking of insurrections, you see that they had one in London?
I did not see that.
Some of the, what they call the extinction people, got in the House of Commons and took photos in the House of Commons, just like what happened January 6th.
Like they did for their TV show?
How'd they get in there? Who let them in there? Someone had to live. That's one of the most protected places in England.
Think.
Why? How do you get in there?
And what did they? Is this a publicity stunt?
Yeah,
or is it,
to take photos, holding their signs up. That's an insurrection, according to the Democrats.
Yeah, so they should be put in solitary confinement. Yeah, and then put in
for a year.
And by the way, there was a case of one of the January 6th Ashley Babbitt Day, mostly peaceful protest. One of the guys just got like 5 years and 6 years in jail because he attacked some cops. Good, if you attack a cop, go to jail. I mean, I don't. Nobody has a problem with that. But that's like one out of the 400 that they arrested. There's like 3 or 4 guys who actually attacked police officers. And if you attack a police officer, they ought to be able to beat the living crap out of you while they arrest you. I mean, if you hit a cop, he should be able to hit you like 9 times for each one. There should be a rule. Anyway, but most of those people were just getting screwed.
2 years the country burned, no hearings. One day, our side does something fishy, and all hell breaks loose. God forbid that happens.
And Nancy, where's the security? I think there's a whole scam. I think they were all in on it. I think she and the FBI got together. We know the FBI planned the insurrection. We know they had their guy, that Ray, whatever his name is, out there telling people where to go. You got to go in the building. You got to go in the building. I mean, if that isn't the leader if that isn't the leader of the insurrection, and the agents and the police were opening the doors. As I recall, the video when Ashley Babbitt was murdered by being shot in the neck by a reckless cop who doesn't deserve to have a badge, there were police officers within 8 feet of her.
Yeah.
As she came through the window, there were police officers in the video, in the scene, with her coming through the window when she got shot in the neck.
Should she have gone through the window? No. Should she have gone through a broken window?
Was wrong.
No.
That's trespassing.
But pretend that this is a Democratic black woman doing it, and a white cop had shot her.
A rally for Black Lives Matter. That was supporting
and a cop had shot her.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, just turn everything around politically, and you get your answer. And that's what kills me. And this thing last night, again, who made that decision to do that? And for those Marines to be used like that, if the commandant of the Marines had any freaking balls, and honestly, I think he's getting, I want to say he's woke. I don't know him and much about him, but he's definitely been compromised. He's definitely not running the same Marine Corps that has always been the Marine Corps, when the only reason to have one is to kill people and break things. We're not crossing guards. We don't hand out school lunches. I mean, come on, you're freaking killing me. And for the Marine Corps Commandant to not have come out this morning and said that is a disgrace to use Marines for a political, divisive, hate-filled speech. How did the Commandant of the Marines not come out and say, Mr. President, you can kiss my ass, I resign, I retire?
Yeah.
I swear to God, I couldn't stop thinking about that. It's like the same way under Putty Tat when they had the sailors and I think there was a Marine and a bunch of sailors in the boat and got caught off the coast of Iraq and they got surrounded by Iranian gunmen or something, so they started crying and gave up all their weapons. That's, oh my God, are you serious? How did the commandant not just blast him that night and today? How is that possible that he said, you do not get to use my Marine? Now, the Marines are the President's Own. That's even the name of his band is called the President's Own. I mean, this has been a tradition since 1775 in Tun Tavern and a Philadelphia bar. But for the Commandant, I can't believe that there's not some uproar, maybe in the Stars and Stripes, if they still have that magazine, or maybe in military social media. I don't know. I'm not a member of any, like military groups of retired so-and-sos. I don't do that. And they made the VFW or the American Legion posters are saying, I don't know. I haven't seen anything of reaction from anybody. And you would think that if the Marine Corps was going to make a reaction, that'd be a freaking reaction. Maybe start blowing up shit in some vacant lot or something.
We've lost the military.
God, I can't.
It's
well,
obvious.
I guess.
It's obvious. We've lost everything. Now, the only way to stop it is to build like they did over 40, 50 years and educate 2 or 3 generations to reject this.
We need to rebound.
Or it's too late.
And again, do you see the means they are using to get to their end? They're not only have all the big tech and all the,
media,
all the media and all the marketing and all the advertising and all Hollywood and all the things you look at, and all the education and all the schools from zero to all through college and all graduate schools, and now, of course, the military. So they're using Marines to try to convince you that you and I are the enemy. So they're clearly willing to do anything, and the only way to stop them is to throw out the rule book. You don't play nice with an enemy that doesn't play nice and deliberately will do anything, I mean anything, to keep their power. So I say no holds barred. Whatever it takes, lie, make up phony press conference releases like they did against Edmund Muskie during the days, made him cry about his grandmother's. I mean, that was hysterical.
Well, he was on some drugs.
But he was a freak anyway. But still, I mean, honestly, what they are doing, they're destroying America. America doesn't stand for what the left stands for. Okay, I'll stop talking here a second. Just ask yourself that question. Do you believe that what the administration is doing, what they're doing with this whole new Green New Deal and the wokenism and the gender things, and now you have to know protons and all this kind of stuff, with all that going on, do you really think that's the America that you want to have, you want to defend? And the answer is no.
No.
Anyway, are you okay? Is everything all right? You take a pill or anything?
I was supposed to. I took it. I already took it.
Startled the shit out of me.
Really? What? What you think was going on?
I was just like, whoa.
That was my pacemaker going off.
He was napping over there. The fire alarm.
Oh God, I love it. Anyway, all right, I'll stop talking about that. But again, they're willing to do anything, and they're saying the GOP is a danger to our democracy.
You've seen that list that it's on the internet every once in a while. It basically is, how do we go from the most educated people in the world, the Germans, to camps?
Right.
And it starts with labeling people, labeling your friends and neighbors as your enemy,
MAGA
and calling
Trump
them
voters.
names
Yeah.
and saying that they're fascist. And that's a communist book, by the way, calling someone a Nazi or a fascist. And then you isolate them, and then you make them non-human. Right. And it's a list. It goes down, down, down. And it ends up with killing people in camps.
And do it with public education. That's the key to it, too, is have the government educate your children for you.
Bortz, I was listening to Bortz because I got a loaner card today. I'm driving around, and it was on Extra, which is a good sign. And I was listening to Bortz talking, and he calls the students now in public schools detainees.
Yeah. Public school detainees. Yeah. Well, again, I mean, and it works. It's always worked. And Hitler did it. That's why he always spoke at night, when people are less.
Karl Marx and Hitler
smart.
both. And you got to control the kids and educate them.
Yeah. They want a split in this country, and they have it. They're getting it, and I'm in. And again, I'm not. I'll do whatever I can to stop these people.
I don't think they're the majority, But it's
Neither do I.
it's like almost 50-50.
Squeaky wheels, man. It's a squeaky wheel. I mean, how did AOC become a major force in Democrat politics as a 29-year-old bartender?
She's been awful quiet lately.
I know, but again, I mean, she was the shooting star, and they're still talking Green New Deal, which is her thing. But they're being smart now. You notice you don't see her much from Bernie anymore lately either, too. I mean, these people are trying to, I think,
and they're the ones that are on the far left.
They're the defund the police people, so they're shutting up now because Biden's saying we're going to blow this if you keep talking. So, but again, that's how duplicitous they are. They'll do anything for power.
And just look at Alaska. We just lost a Republican seat for 50 years. A 60% voted Republican and a Democrat sitting in the House.
Yeah. In the presidential election, the popular vote is probably always going to be for the Democrat. It's just, that's why you don't have, otherwise all in favor of having a 3-day work week here at work. Raise your hand. Hey, boss, guess what? We don't have to work 3 days a week now. You can't run a country like that. That's majority doesn't rule all the time. Majority represents somebody to rule anyway. I mean, do people not understand that basic rule? Government? I don't know. I guess not.
Well, they're not taught civics. No one knows how nobody.
Well, that's true.
And Frank Zappa warned us about this. Frank Zappa, 30 years ago. If you don't teach civics, if you don't know what your rights are, how can you fight for your rights if they don't tell you what your rights are?
I know. I think the country would be a better place if every school teacher in some point in elementary school, even reading it out loud to your class, read Mayflower or a book like that.
That's what I would teach.
Honestly,
if I
were
taught some
doing a
kids
course
history,
in American history,
we're going to read a chapter every night. I want you to go home and read this chapter, and tomorrow we're going to talk about it. And whatever questions you have, you ask me.
That's right. You could do a semester on that book.
And if I don't know the answer, we'll sit here and look it up right here. And we're not just going to look up on Wikipedia. We're going to go to several sources, and we're going to find the damn truth.
Yeah. Honestly, and I was thinking about that this morning about this business with the giving up the student loans for people who had the wherewithal to go to college and are paying back their loans. Since when is it worth $60,000 or $70,000 a year for your student child to go sit in a classroom 3 days a week for a lecture when everything that's ever been said or thought or written in the universe is on your phone? It's right there. It's right here.
80%
of
everything I know in my life,
Yeah.
I've read myself.
Yeah.
I've had a few good teachers, but most of them are idiots.
And again, so being able to use the World Wide Web of information, which is everything. I mean, it's everything ever said or written is in there.
Western
and to have to pay. I'm so sorry.
Stop doing that. That must really hurt. I'd stop doing that if I were you.
To have to pay all that money when if you could be directed on how to gain the information you're really looking for to make you a better person. It's not, why would you have to pay somebody $70,000 to go live in a dorm with no clothes space or whatever?
I tell you what, every once in a while I'll flick on Khan Academy.
Yeah, absolutely.
A couple of years ago,
I think it is. Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I flicked on there that was talking about programming software. What do you call it? Learn how to program.
Coding.
Coding. I go, what is this all about? I did it, and I sat there for less than an hour, and I knew the basics of coding from the Khan Academy.
Yeah. Every school should have a link to the Khan Academy or something like it because it's like a personal private tutor, and it starts from the beginning and it gets you to the end where you get it.
It's not a tutor.
Which is what teachers are supposed to do. I mean,
I know it's supposed to be individual, which is what you get in private schools, I guess.
Well, and in private school, we even I had for some reason I was great at geometry, but I was terrible at trigonometry, something or other. And so I once in a while I'd go on a Saturday tutor session to the guy who taught it because he was a freaking genius, a prep school guy. Just because that's what helped. Just need a little something to say, no, you're looking at it this way. But again, I don't know. The whole public education system and this college business for all that money you're not getting your money's worth for that.
My dad, who was an electrical engineer, used to sit and try and teach me algebra. And I know that he went in the other room and just wept.
Kid doesn't get it.
And he never will.
And my father was a genius, and my brother and my sister got 800 on her college board. So, I mean.
How did I raise such a stupid son?
But I got those pretty blue eyes all right. I think we'll keep him. He's kind of a crybaby, I think I'm the only one who didn't graduate at the top of all my classes. I was in the top 10%, but that's not good enough, Anyway, I'll tell you what's good enough. Dead Crow Defense. By golly, Americans. Dead Crow Defense. It's not a gun store. It's your personal arms dealer. It's your gun dealer. And it's not just guns, it's also ammo. In fact, if you're looking for ammo and you can't find it or the prices are outrageous someplace else, check out Dead Crow Defense. Oh, is that a left-handed? That's right. That's Flounder's driver. Oh, that's a graphite shaft, obviously. And it's a light hand there. Anyway, Dead Crow Defense. You could bring your golf clubs right there to Dead Crow Defense. By God, I think Flounder did when he got his latest round of ammo. You got to hope. And speaking of the ammo, they have the best prices since before the China kill pandemic. All the calibers
for a swing,
are in stock.
You're a hell of a writer.
And if they if they need more, if you need something special, they can order for you. And by the way, when they have things right there in the store, they ship out the next day. They work directly with you, see what you're looking for, getting what you're looking for, and that includes all those calibers that are kind of hard to find. They'll take care of it for you. And by the way, it's not just ammo and guns. It's gear and supplies and public safety kind of stuff. Check them out. Go on the web, deadcrowdefense.com, and you can see what they have to offer and give them a call. Here's their phone number. They love to talk to people and see if they can help you, whatever you're looking for. Area 678-576-9117. Or give them an email if you're looking for something to buy right there about sales@deadcrowdefense.com. And don't forget, use the promo code KIMMER, KIMMER, at checkout for 10% off your first several orders at deadcrowdefense.com. Your personal arms dealer, deadcrowdefense.com.
Cindy.
Yes, our friend Cindy. Hey,
says
Cindy.
Bernie is the front runner for the Dems for president. Gutfeld said that last night.
He would have won. He would have won if it had been fair and square. Yeah, last time he would have been the nominee. He and Elizabeth Warren probably would have been his running mate. I'll bet you. Can you imagine?
But you know what? We would have been better off because then we would have known he's going to do exactly what he said he's going to do.
Yeah.
So we would know. We would have clarity.
Yeah.
Where Biden is lying about what he's doing.
Yeah, he tricked us. He was the unifier who said, "Well,
I'm not Trump. I won't be mean like Trump, and I won't do anything crazy or radical."
Yeah.
But that's all he's done.
That's right. He's the more divider in chief than Puttitat was, really. I mean, of what he's done under his watch in just 2 years. I mean, again, Puttitat had 8. This guy's in 2 years has been more divisive. Look, think about it this way: in the 8 year, sorry, I'm out. Sorry, I'm so sorry. You could
blood to be
you could do a lottery on how many minutes into the show am I going to start cringing when I
break up, Shriners.
Anyway,
we should do a shot every time he does
God,
that.
Yeah, have some, think of Old Crow here on the
You wouldn't feel your tongue anymore.
Oh my God! Oh dear Lordy! But I was thinking during the entire 8 years of Puttitat, I don't know that I've been as outraged over any one specific event as I have been with this guy in 2 years. I mean, think about it.
2 years ago, I had to get tires, and they put them on while I waited. I have a loaner because they can't get the same tires.
Yeah.
It takes 5 days to get them now.
Yeah, well, I had the same problem. I had to go find them and wait for them. They had to order them special because nobody had them.
He goes, yeah, we got tires. Yeah, we'll think maybe Tuesday and Wednesday at the earliest. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, we're going to have to order them.
Well, you know why? And if I were a company under this administration, I'd be doing the same. I wouldn't have any inventory. You're wasting money. If you have 4,000 tires in your warehouse, they're just sitting there. You've been paying money on the inventory, and you bought them, and you wasted your money because they're just sitting there. So I wouldn't have any I wouldn't be paying money for inventory. I'd just order it.
Not to mention, if you're sitting there for a while, the amount of tax you're going to have to pay on that.
Car dealers, when car dealers start offering 0% interest, the reason is they pay an inventory tax. So every car that sits on their lot, they have to pay for.
Did you see the day After California said they're going to get rid of all gas cars by 2030 or something like that.
2035, not a single gasoline car will have, and no more gas stations. We're not going to build any more gas stations. And then the next day,
please stop juicing up your cars. We don't have enough electricity.
Stop pumping up your cars with electricity. The next day.
And then within 6 days, they backtracked on the original comment.
Oh, my God. I mean, come on. And he's going to be the next nominee. I'll bet you the Governor Newsom of California will be the Democrat nominee because he looks like John Kennedy and John Kerry and the guy from Gary Hart from Colorado. They all have that swirly hair and the tall, lanky. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It did work for John Lindsay.
But he was another one. Of course, he was a Republican in
New York City.
Yeah. Anyway, if I recall correctly, but he was kind of a
I don't know if it was Elon Musk or somebody said if you're going to electrify as many cars as they're saying, you would have to build these little kiosks where you're like, we can't build them fast enough to do it across the country.
And by the way, didn't I say the one electric car runs enough electricity to supply a house for like 4 years or some ridiculous amount of power surge like that? I mean, it's just, we can't do it. I mean, if you want to start doing a thing, but you can't be making these wild.
Well, another thing, and I don't know who pointed this out. Well, I think it was your boy Tucker. He said, "This is a way to control your movement." Yeah. You know that, right? You can only go 300 miles before you have to stop. No, people aren't going to drive across country in these things.
And let's not forget when, in fact, again on my phone it pops up. Somebody's done a little feed of a family that went to get the new battery for their electric car.
Yeah,
$28,000. Yeah, for a used car battery. 28 grand, 32 grand. I mean, holy smokes.
By the way, now I know how you feel when you take your car to the...
Nothing cheap anymore.
I'm surprised I can sit down right now.
Well, mine's all free. All my service is free, and they come and get my car and bring it back to me. So, but again, it's not... I mean, at some point.
I had the big 4-year, which is a big deal. The 4 year, they do everything, and 4 new tires. And it's like, holy.
It's a lot, yeah. I mean, and again.
Can I see the loan officer while I'm here?
You want to hear a weird a grocery thing again today? I did it. In fact, on my way here today, I have a very small grocery list of things I wanted to get that I can keep in the car. Normally, if I'm going to the stable, I don't buy carrots and then come here because it'd be hot in the car. So, I needed some tissue and I needed some Tide. Okay, so, and I was coming down the road here and I realized I'm at like 25 minutes early, so I stopped at the Publix not too far from where
That's a good Publix, by the way. There's a nice people there.
And so I got the Tide and the tissue, stuff like that. And then I went looking. I've had a hankering the last few days for some Milky Way candy bars.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have looked in the 2 Publixes I go to almost every day up in Alpharetta and Milton, and there are no Milky Ways anywhere in those 2 public stores, including even at the checkout counter. Even the full-size ones at the checkout counter. Yeah. No Milky Ways, period. They just finally got the Snickers back after about a month of no Snickers at either of the Publix I go to all the time. And I went to the Publix here and said, well, I know they'll have Milky Ways. Not a one. The only Milky Ways they had were one register, and it was like the double ones, share with a friend, and they're like, 4 pounds of, But again, maybe they were saying, this Halloween chocolate thing is coming true. I mean, and the prices, holy crap. Now, I'm not a price guy, but I remember, candy, a pack of 6 Milky Ways didn't used to be $8.50. It was like $4.90, or I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know, but it's holy crap and Rooney.
Okay. It's college football season. Great night last night. Great night tonight. Big weekend.
Big weekend.
So what you got to have grunts to eat.
Yeah.
And my big thing is always get the Lay's potato chip, the Ruffles.
Yeah.
And get the little can of Frito-Lay's French and onion dip.
French and onion dip and bean dip. Yeah, I like those. Yeah, they're good.
That's my college football staple, right?
Yeah.
Gone. Kroger didn't have any
this
morning when I stopped by Kroger. They did not have. That's the staple. The can of French onion dip.
Right. They normally have 1,000 of them.
I know.
Yeah.
You can play hockey in the aisles with them.
Try to buy biscuits. I mean, the other day.
I got biscuits today.
But again, it's everything is such hit and miss. Just
I know you never know what's missing. Like you couldn't find the Hillshire Farms lunch meat. You couldn't find turkey for a while.
And again, obviously, if somebody's listening in Russia right now, we're clearly spoiled Americans, no question about it. But we're also paying for it. You know, we
We're not
pay our
supposed to
taxes.
live
we,
like
we,
this.
we pay for our lifestyle.
Our
So don't give me
forefathers
this
didn't
bullshit
die
about,
and suffer
Yeah.
for us to live like this because this
Yeah.
is what we're used to,
That's
and
right.
by God, there's a reason for it.
That's right. That's why everybody wants to come here. They're not all trying to get into Poland. You know, and we love Poland. Poland's one of my
Actually, a lot of people are.
Lech Walesa.
There's a lot of Americans wanting to move to Poland right now.
Well,
They've
right now,
changed.
maybe, yeah. Lech Walesa days. I remember that back in the 60s, late 60s, 80s, 60s, 80s. What's the difference? You realize how long ago that was?
Well, they're saying, someone said the other day on Facebook, goes, yeah, someone said, 30 years ago, and I'm thinking 70s or something.
It's 1992. Yeah,
It's
right.
Clinton.
It was 30 years.
30 years.
30 years ago.
Like that.
I put a picture the other day on the Facebook page. I don't know if you saw it, of when I was down in Florida where I got Jack. He was an old show horse. I didn't ride him on a show horse. I had no interest in just a Western ride. But anyway, but he loved to compete. He loved shows. He would hate to leave show horse shows. He just would love it. And I used to, the girl came to me and asked if she could use him to help the little girls at the stable. The stables are almost all just young girls in most places, to learn how to jump, because Jack was a really good jumper, even though he's a huge horse. And he loved to do it. He loved to compete, and he loved the kids. He was real sweet. And I said, sure. So and they had more fun. So every weekend I would let the little girls ride Jack in shows at the. Okay, so one day I'm coming up and I realized I took a picture from behind of Jack and then 3 or 4 other horses together. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. I'll get it up to show Pete.
Kim,
while
we're
I'm right
looking
here.
at his photo brought to you by Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net. That's right. You got a closet, you need a closet refabricated, whatever they call it. You need to go to Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net.
I just got a notice said there was a payment update problem with your iCloud or something.
Oh, you better pay it.
I don't even know
what
that is.
You know what happened? You know what what's taking up your storage is all the pictures you take of the work you do. Like the stuff you do for the show.
Oh, no, I erased those.
Do you delete those?
Yeah,
Like,
I do.
Sure. But it doesn't hold it just in one place. I find it, sometimes the stuff you do and send me is held in some secret place that I find like once a year. It's like, what is this? I stumble on it.
I don't understand how my phone works. I don't know. This is the
It's
picture
the
I'm
search
showing.
when you go.
I'm showing Pete. It's a picture of Jack on the right, and look at the size difference. I mean, they look
He
like
could eat the other horses.
They look like miniature,
Shetland ponies.
They look like Shetland ponies, or like on a merry-go-round in front of a grocery store. And he's huge.
Hey, how you doing?
And I took the picture from the rear to show, and the little teeny girl looks like a peanut. I mean, it's just hysterical. But again, I don't know why I was talking about that. Jack, my horse from behind. What the hell was I talking about for that? How did I get to Jack down in Florida, my horse?
It's a circuitous route.
Oh, my God. I have no idea what I was talking about. That is so bad. Do you remember what I was talking about? You don't either.
No.
I must have been very important.
Let's read back the minutes. Flounder, could you read back the minutes to us?
Yeah, Flounder was, he was doing shit. I'm
Let's
sorry.
see. We had EV vehicles in California. Then you went to Atlanta Custom Closets, and then you were talking about.
Something down in Florida, when I was down in Florida.
right, well, move
anyway,
on.
whatever. A couple things. If we get Republicans in office, I think they should impeach President Potato Head. Impeach him for Afghanistan, impeach him for the virus coverage, impeach him for the closed schools, impeach for all the things that have happened, impeach him for not having his Justice Department crack down on all the crimes that have happened in the last 2 years in America, impeach him for everything they can, impeach.
How about we just put him on the ice floe?
I like it, even better. Let's see, soul of the nation, my ass. I mean, my God, they're looking for mass arrests. Did you hear a couple of things? Here's your liberal left side. He again pretends to be the non-defunding the police law and order guy. I'm reading a story this morning out of Wisconsin where a Wisconsin man who had threatened his wife and had attacked her 6 or 7 times, attacked her again, and the judge let him out on bail, and so he came back and killed her. Mm-hmm. Also, in Portland, the Portland Freedom Fund. Have you heard about this? The Portland Freedom Fund raised the money. They believe in that criminals are victims too. Criminals are victims of the system. So the Portland Freedom Fund raised money and made a deal to let a killer out of jail. He had attacked the woman 6 times in the past, and he let him out of jail, and he went back and finally killed her. So, I mean,
If she had a gun, maybe it would have been.
God. I mean, how are we supposed to look at this any way other than this is not America?
They're trying to collapse society because that's how you can replace it with what you have, if you can, I mean, that's why they're doing this.
I thought it was one more story is in the new, and we're doing kind of a hybrid, not particularly lengthy podcast today, but we're working on it. I looked at interest in another story in Russia. Every once in a while, this happens, and it happened again apparently yesterday. A billionaire Russian oligarch who apparently was against the attack in Ukraine. This billionaire Russian oligarch was against the attack in Ukraine, suddenly took ill, and so they took him to the hospital, and son of a gun, he fell out of an upper story window to his death.
Again?
I guess he was probably suicidal. He didn't want to go through the treatments. He was upset
Wandered
because
too
he didn't
close.
feel
It was
good.
open.
The window was right there.
Drafty.
How many times have you felt you just wanted to end it? I mean, oh my! Another oligarch who was against the war in Ukraine takes a header out of a hospital building.
If I'm them, I'm going, I want the first or second floor, please.
Yeah, hit 14 there, Garcon. No, please, God.
They're just bald face. Oh, yeah, he fell out of the hospital.
I thought that was pretty freaking amusing.
Move on.
I mean, you didn't come up with something original, like the elevator wasn't there and you stepped into the shaft or something, you know?
Oh, Lordy. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot of other stuff to... I do have a couple of quick history notes here. Speaking
do?
of military things. On this day in 1945, Japan officially surrendered. It's historically VJ Day.
I thought it was interesting
World War II.
that he gave that speech with the Nazi memorabilia
Yeah.
on the anniversary of the start of World War II.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
The invasion of Poland.
yeah, that's right. And 1945, same day, Ho Chi Minh, speaking of our president,
Asshole.
Ho Chi Minh declares that Vietnam is now a free and independent state from France. And again, when I was there, French is basically the second language. I mean, everybody spoke French. They still taught it in schools.
French
and everything.
Indochina.
French Indochina, and everybody spoke English too. Almost all of them did. And by the way, they all knew. I used to work with translators. Anyway, long story, but they all knew more about American history than I did.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they could name all the presidents. I can't. I'm sure. I mean, I could probably
never
come
did
up with
that.
it, but I don't think it.
No, you could.
Well, I probably can't. I'm sure. Polk. I mean,
I don't
what do
think
I
the
know?
three of us could do it.
Yeah, that's probably true. But they all knew him.
I could start at McKinley and come up to the modern day, 1890s.
Well, I could get the last 10. Or something.
I start from McKinley up. It's the early 1800s that throw me.
Yeah, well,
Polk
sure,
and
of
all-
course.
all those
And you got
guys.
the Adamses. Were they both president? Was one?
Yeah,
I mean,
John Quincy was president.
Anyway, I thought this was fairly interesting too. Here in 1969, the original Star Trek TV series aired its last episode, 1969, on this day after only 3 years, and it was never a hit. It never ranked better than 52nd in the ratings.
That's amazing.
And became and the spin-offs from Star Trek the TV show.
I know.
And damn it, Jim, I'm an engineer, not a doctor, or vice
doctor,
versa,
not
an engineer, whatever
doctor,
it
not
was.
an engineer.
And Lieutenant Uhura, the first black woman kissing a white guy on TV. I mean, what a trendsetter, and it was not. I mean, I used to watch it. I remember because it was on in the afternoons, and I'd come home from school, I think, and I would put it on while I was doing my homework, I think.
How old were you?
I'm trying to remember. It was 69.
It was the six. You were doing
in the
college
66.
homework.
That
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I was in the Marines then. No, I wasn't watching. I guess
In fact, it was 66 to 69.
that's when I was in the
Yeah.
Marines that whole time. But I remember seeing it after that when they played rerun. Oh, that's what it was when I came back and was going to school. Finished college and then went to graduate school. I would do my my homework and my studying in front of the TV, and I watched in the afternoon reruns when they were playing Star Trek on cable shows back then on the UHF channel or something. But what a force it became. I mean, and then Star Wars. I mean,
That's the force.
the force. But that all started with Star Trek. And Gene Roddenberry,
Yes.
I mean,
Star Wars.
and aren't his ashes up in space?
Yeah.
Gene
In fact,
Roddenberry.
Uhuru Hers are going to be up there too.
Yeah, yeah.
If not soon.
Yeah.
Star
couple of
Wars
quick-
stole everything. Stole from Star Trek. It stole from Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas stole everything from John Carter, Warlord of Mars. He stole all that.
But, well, everything is stolen from somebody. I mean,
yeah.
you know. But,
Yeah, I'm
and
not
again,
saying
he
it's
did a
a
great
bad
job
thing,
with it.
but
Yeah.
come on,
But that was the start of it. And again, it only lasted 3 years and was never popular at the time. Mark Harmon, speaking of actors who were also athletes, Mark Harmon's 72 years old
Is
today.
that the guy from Double Dare?
He's the actor from the
NCIS.
NCIS
Oh, yeah,
and the
Summer School.
hospital. He was in one of the hospital shows, too.
Probably the worst Sean Connery movie ever made, Presidio.
God, that's
With
right.
Meg
he plays
Ryan.
the guy. Meg
I
Ryan,
paid
back when
money
she
to
was
see
cute. Yeah, back when she was cute.
That was a date night going to that movie, and we both
Yeah.
like, this is the worst.
Before
movie.
she had her face ruined. Have you seen her lately?
Oh, it's
Poor
horrible.
thing. I mean, I feel bad. I really feel. Anyway, yeah, that was a weird movie. And Sean Connery was a strange guy.
They're in the bar, and he goes, I can take one thumb and beat the hell out of him.
And he did it. And he showed.
He was a Marine or something. He took his thumb.
Keanu Reeves is 59. By the he apparently is a really nice guy. He was
he's very
in was it Hawaii the other day or Costa Rica someplace, and he was on the beach or the bar whatever, and he started talking to this young couple, and they were having their wedding ceremony there, and so they said, "No, gee, you want to come to our wedding?" He said, "Oh," and he showed up. And he took pictures, and he was just a nice guy. He was there to make.
If you look
I mean,
at anytime he takes a picture with a woman, his hand
Right.
is always to where you
Yeah.
can see it, so
Right.
they can't.
Yeah.
He touched me inappropriately.
Yeah, absolutely. But he seems like a
Twice.
really nice guy.
First time you let him. Second time,
I know. But again, he's known for his incredible acting skills. I think he won the Academy Award when he did the famous soliloquy with something like this.
don't make fun.
Whoa. Thank you.
Still doing that joke, huh?
Very
The
much.
man makes his own motorcycles. He's just incredible.
He's a great guy. I'm giving him total credit here. And a wonderful actor, as I just mimicked. Just eat me, will you? Eat me right here. My luscious little Selma Hayek. My delicious little kitty cat is 57 today.
I don't care.
I don't care either. I had the
Right
hots
here
for
on
her.
that couch in front of you two.
The first time I saw her, I felt
That was,
and more. And who's the other one? Tom Cruise was involved. Did a
Penelope
movie.
Cruz.
Somebody Cruz.
Penelope?
Penelope Cruz. Yeah.
She's not. She's pretty, but she's not
oh,
Salma
She's
Hayek.
exotic and gorgeous, but Selma Hayek. And when she was on
body.
30 Rock, played his wife or girlfriend and stuff. Oh my God, she's just a monster.
She's full of life.
Attractive. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Remember the actress Linda Pearl from Matlock and Happy Days? She's 68 today.
She was cute.
Very cute young girl. Eric Dickerson, 63, Hall of Famer. He was doing OJ's. He was doing, what's her name? Wasn't he also doing OJ's
I don't know
girl,
if that
Simpson?
was
Oh, no,
Eric.
that was the other guy. Who was
Marcus. Marcus Allen.
Marcus
you're thinking
Allen?
of.
Marcus Allen. Yeah, that's the one
No,
I
Eric,
have my picture
Eric,
with.
Eric may still live around here. I don't think you should be saying things
no,
like
I
that.
got that. Well, we can edit that whole thing out there.
He's not just going to steal your wine.
No,
man.
he's
He's gonna kick your ass.
Oh yeah. Jimmy Connors, another athlete, 71 today. The bad boy of tennis back in the day. I used to love to watch you. Surely that was John McEnroe.
The first bad boy to me was Illy Nastase.
Nastase was he was called Nasty Nastase.
And then there was Connors, and then McEnroe took it to
McEnroe
a new
became the
level.
real bad boy.
And now it's-
Surely you can't be serious.
Now it's curious.
Yeah, he's just an
Australian
asshole
jerk.
to me. I mean, he's just
He's
being
mental.
a jerk.
There's something going on bad.
Yeah,
up
he
there.
might actually have an issue. Lennox Lewis is 57 today.
Ernie Shavers died. Did you hear that?
I did not hear that. Former bald-headed boxing great.
Ali, Foreman, and one other boxer said he was the hardest hitter that ever
Yeah.
hit them.
He never got his due.
He lost two heavyweight boxing matches, and I think he lost twice to Foreman or Lewis. I forget who, but Ali beat him once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavyweight champ.
good.
Yep, he was. Terry Bradshaw birthday, 75 years old today. And I guess he's having a happy, fun life. Is he still doing his Terry Bradshaw show and with his daughters and all that
doing
stuff?
a reality show. With
Yeah,
his-
something like that.
in
The
Louisiana.
Bradshaw family or something or other. I don't know. Good. I mean, I'm happy for him.
The last one I saw was that they thought there was a ghost that was haunting their
God.
house, their ranch.
You know, he's working. We're doing this. we could make a reality show that.
I swear, I've always said a camera should follow you.
I'll tell you what,
camera crew should follow you around. Seriously, accosting Muslim women in the public, the following women too closely.
God, I saw a girl the other day, and
stop.
I couldn't.
Don't.
I honest to
Don't.
God, I was dying.
All right, what's your horoscope? What sign are
I'm
you?
in Aries.
You're in
Like
Aries.
we didn't know that, I guess.
Yeah, here's your. Let me find it here. Okay, Aries. Here's your horoscope.
Yeah.
Since you love brutal honesty so much, here's some for you. You're never going to achieve your dreams.
Oh, now you tell me.
You'll repeat the same mistakes over and over again until you die.
Yeah. Well, this is podcast number 470. What?
That death grip you've got on the past, yeah, don't let go. Remember all the pain you've caused and know that it's because
Every day.
of who you are as a person. You will never change.
You'd never be any good.
Flounder, what are you?
Oh, Lord.
You're a Leo.
The
All right.
lion.
Hey, wake up. It's time to wipe the crumbs off your bed so you can take those daily thirst trap photos for Instagram.
What?
Because God forbid you go one fucking day without getting any attention from strangers on the internet. If you could stop thinking about yourself for just 1 second, you notice that your loved ones have been slowly cutting you out of their lives for a while now.
And yours?
All right, I'm a okay. My short and sweet. Pisces. There is no horoscope. Just please go to therapy.
Oh, you got screwed.
I got a small one.
Oh,
Excuse
Lordy.
me? That's what she said.
Yeah, that's
but
what
I'm
she
beat you
said.
there. All right, is it time for
Bad text.
Bad
theater.
Text
Bad
Theater?
Texting Theater.
All right, let's see what we got here.
I think it is the
We did the suit. We did the. I already have one from an alcoholic.
the
You guys,
dad joke.
any plans for Labor Day weekend? It's going to be, it may be a rainy one. They said like
Football,
90%
baby.
chance. There's a lot of football on TV.
A lot of football.
Now, and what do you think the chances are we'll be hearing any Let's Go Brandon or F. Joe Biden chants?
I don't know.
I wonder if they're going to
It's
start
kind of
that
faded,
out.
hasn't it?
I think it has
Well,
faded.
yeah, but again, after last night's speech, you have to wonder.
I wonder whether this weekend, whether something's going to happen.
I don't know.
As hateful as that was. Anyway.
So this is the boss one.
Okay. You the boss or you me?
I'll be me.
All right. I'm the boss. Do you think you can come in on Saturday? I know you enjoy your weekends, but I need you here.
Yeah, no problem. I'll probably be late though. Public transportation and slow on the weekends.
What time will you be here?
Monday.
Monday around 8:39.
There's another one where the boss is saying, hey, you're late again. You're like an hour late. And the woman goes, I can turn around and go home if it's a problem.
Oh, God, I love it. Boys, have a great weekend. Rain or snow. Or
Oh, Dragon
shine,
Con,
whatever.
too. Dragon Con's
Oh, is
going.
that this weekend
I think
already?
so.
Yeah, so stay away from the city.
Well, you know, that's...
It's also
you know
Black
what?
Gay Pride, too,
That's the
isn't
thing.
it?
So you have
Oh, my
the
God.
Yeah?
Both of them downtown?
and you have Georgia.
Oh, my God.
Oregon at Mercedes-Benz.
You know what a shame. I would kind of like to go see something of Dragon Con.
Just sit down there and watch 'em like we
yeah,
used to.
but I don't think I want to do that. I'm not going to do that.
I'd like to go do Wonder Woman.
I'd rather go
One of
take
those
horse videos.
Hyatt Regency. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Marriott Marquis, with the Trader Vic's is where they go. That's the place. They go down there and they get drunk on Mai Tais, and then they go have.
Yeah, wouldn't that would be fun?
Furry
If you had
sex up in the
some
thing.
guys that would be fun, but there's no way I'm going to try to pull that off. And again, you know, all those people are all Trump haters, and they'll probably start something. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, don't tell them you're.
No, I'm just. Well, I'll have some kind of Marine Corps thing
I
on.
wouldn't wear the
I'm gonna.
Marine Corps
I'm.
thing.
I'm gonna be wearing my. I wear a Marine Corps thing every freaking day. I mean, I want people
Not the Dragon
because they know where I stand. They know where I stand.
Don't fuck with me.
They know exactly where I. Well, I mean, you can still beat me up, but you're going to know that you were there. You know.
My thing is, if they get in a position, is like, look, you're probably going to kick my ass.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you what, my sole purpose in life is going to be that right knee.
Right, yeah.
And you will never walk the same
Yeah.
again.
And if you don't kill me, I will get you when you least expect it. And I never, and that's true. And I've done
true.
that. And one of these
That's
days,
true.
I'm going to tell some stories about. Oh, I told you the one with the rifle butt that
Yeah.
a guy I got back. Anyway,
Mine are more subtle. We're talking sometimes decades later. Bad shit happens to people out of the blue, and they have no clue where it's coming from. Because I like my mom. I will forgive you, but I will never forget it.
yeah. Well, I tend to have a quick reactor button there. So
No. Revenge is a dish best served cold, baby.
yeah, that's more fun for sure. All right, boys. Flounder, again, thanks for hosting all this nonsense, and let's go hit some balls. Hoorah, Semper Fi, I gotta go, you're killing me. Go Marine Corps. And have a happy